English Flow Podcast with Kay and Leo.
Hey there, and welcome to the English Flow Podcast. I'm Key, and I'm super happy you're tuning in today.
And I'm Leo. Whether you're walking outside, cooking, or just chilling, thanks for joining us again.
So, Leo, what's been on your mind lately?
Honestly, I've been thinking about how people learn new things. Some people just seem to learn so fast. And I'm like, what's their secret, you know?
Totally. It's like they have some kind of superpower we don't.
Exactly. I mean, I try to learn new things, but sometimes it feels like I'm slogging through mud. I'm sure lots of people feel like that too.
I hear you, but good news. It might not be about them having a superpower.
Oh yeah? What do you mean?
Well, today we're diving into that exact question. What's the secret to learning faster, especially when it comes to English?
Ooh, that sounds promising. So, no more slogging through mud?
Hopefully, we're going to look at some real actionable strategies.
Nice. If you've been feeling stuck with your English progress or any other skill, this episode is for you.
Absolutely. We're going to break down some powerful ways to boost your learning game. And it's not just about English. You can use these tips for anything.
Okay, so spill the beans, Key. What's the big secret?
Well, here's the thing, Leo. Learning faster isn't about being smarter.
Wait, really? You mean I don't have to be a genius to learn quickly?
Nope. It's about strategy. It's about understanding how your brain works best and using that knowledge to your advantage.
So it's not about innate talent, it's about using the right tools.
Exactly. Think of it like this. A professional chef isn't just born knowing how to cook. They learn techniques, they use the right tools, and they practice.
That makes sense. So, what are these tools for our brains?
Well, today we're going to talk about two powerful brain tools, spaced repetition and active recall.
Spaced repetition? Active recall? Sounds sci-fi.
They might sound fancy, but they're actually pretty simple and super effective. Spaced repetition is all about reviewing information at the right intervals. Not cramming everything at once.
Okay, that already sounds better than my usual study method.
Definitely. And active recall is about testing yourself instead of just passively rereading.
Ah, so it's like making your brain work for the answer instead of just feeding it the information.
Precisely. And we'll break down exactly how to use both of these techniques in a practical way.
Awesome. I'm already feeling smarter just hearing about this.
Well, there's more.
Oh?
We're also going to hear from a real polyglot who shares how she learns multiple languages efficiently.
A polyglot? Wow. Someone who speaks like a million languages?
Well, not a million, but quite a few. She's got some amazing insights into how to optimize your learning. And she's not some kind of super genius either. She just uses effective strategies.
This is getting me so hyped. I can't wait to hear her tips.
Me too. I think her story is really inspiring and shows that anyone can learn faster with the right approach.
Okay, so just to recap before we dive in, we're talking about how learning faster is a skill, not just something you're born with.
Yup, it's all about using strategies that work with your brain.
And we're going to learn about spaced repetition, active recall, and get advice from a polyglot.
Exactly. So get ready to unlock your learning potential.
Let's do it. All right, let's get into the techniques. First up, spaced repetition.
Right, so spaced repetition is all about reviewing what you learn right before you forget it. It's timed review.
Timed review? Tell me more.
Okay, so instead of cramming every day, you review after 1 day, then 3 days, then 7, gradually increasing the time in between.
Oh, I get it. So it's not just random repetition.
Exactly. It's strategic repetition. That's how your brain keeps the information long-term. It's like giving your memory little reminders at the perfect time.
So it's like you're nudging your brain saying, hey, remember this? It's important.
Exactly. And because you're reviewing it just before you forget, your brain has to work a little bit harder to recall the information, and that effort strengthens the memory.
Okay, so it's not just passively reading something over and over again.
Nope, it's active engagement with the material.
Makes sense. So, how do people actually do spaced repetition? Is there like a special app or something?
There are definitely apps. I use one called Anki. It's basically a flashcard program that uses an algorithm to schedule your reviews, but you can also do it manually with a calendar or a spreadsheet.
Okay, cool. So spaced repetition helps you review efficiently, no more random repetition. Got it. What's the next brain-based learning tool?
Then we have active recall. And this one's super simple, but also really powerful. Instead of rereading, you ask yourself questions.
Questions like about the material you're trying to learn?
Exactly. Instead of passively reading a textbook or watching a video, you actively try to retrieve the information from your memory.
Okay, so give me an example. Let's say I'm trying to learn a new English word.
Okay, let's say the word is retain. Instead of just rereading the definition, you ask yourself, what does the word retain mean?
And then I try to answer it before looking it up.
Exactly. That mental effort makes your memory stronger. It feels harder, but that's why it works.
So it's like you're building a stronger pathway in your brain every time you try to recall something.
Precisely. And the more you practice active recall, the easier it becomes to retrieve information later on.
Okay, I can see how that would be way more effective than just passively reading something over and over.
Absolutely. It's like the difference between watching someone lift weights and actually lifting them yourself.
I like that analogy. So spaced repetition is about when you review, and active recall is about how you review.
Exactly. They're two sides of the same coin. They both help you learn more effectively by engaging your brain in the right way.
Okay, so just to recap, active recall builds stronger memory pathways. Got it. Are these techniques actually proven to work?
Absolutely. Both spaced repetition and active recall are backed by neuroscience research. They've been shown to be highly effective for learning all kinds of things, not just languages.
Wow, so this isn't just some random learning fad.
Nope. These are proven methods that are used by top learners worldwide.
That's awesome. So if I start using these techniques, I can become a super learner too?
You definitely can. It takes practice and consistency, but the results are worth it.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm ready to start using spaced repetition and active recall in my own learning.
Great. And remember, you don't have to do it perfectly right away. Just start small and gradually incorporate these techniques into your study routine.
So what kind of changes can people expect if they start implementing these tools in their learning?
Well, one of the first things you might notice is that you're able to remember things for longer periods of time. You'll also likely find that you're spending less time reviewing material because you're doing it more efficiently.
That sounds amazing. I'm always looking for ways to save time.
Me too. And the best part is that these techniques can be applied to any subject or skill. Whether you're learning a new language, a musical instrument, or a new software program, spaced repetition and active recall can help you learn faster and more effectively.
Okay, so just to summarize, spaced repetition and active recall are proven by neuroscience and used by top learners worldwide. Boom! Mind officially blown.
Haha, I'm glad you're excited, Leo. I really think these two strategies can help so many people unlock their learning potential. And now, let's get to our interview with Anna, the polyglot.
So I actually interviewed Anna, a polyglot who speaks 6 languages, including Spanish, Korean, and Arabic.
Whoa, that's amazing. I mean, how does someone even find the time to learn 6 languages?
I know, right? It's super impressive. And that's exactly what I wanted to find out. So I asked her, what's your biggest tip for learning languages efficiently?
And what did she say? I'm dying to know.
She said something that really surprised me. She said, don't wait for motivation, build a system.
Don't wait for motivation? That's interesting. So she doesn't rely on feeling inspired to study?
Nope, not at all. She said that motivation comes and goes, but a solid system will keep you going even when you don't feel like it.
Okay, that makes sense. So what does her system look like?
Well, she's a big fan of spaced repetition, like we were just talking about.
She uses spaced repetition apps like Anki every single day.
Oh, Anki. That's the app you mentioned earlier.
Yep, that's the one. She says she practices for about 15 minutes daily. No excuses.
15 minutes? That's it? That seems so manageable.
Exactly. She says that consistency is key. Even if she only has a few minutes, she makes sure to do something every day.
So it's all about building that habit, that routine.
Precisely. And she also uses active recall, right?
Yep. And her active recall method is really interesting. Every morning, she writes 3 simple sentences in her target language without looking at any notes.
3 sentences? That sounds like a great way to start the day.
It is. It forces her to actively retrieve vocabulary and grammar rules from her memory.
And then what does she do? Does she just leave them as is?
Nope. After she writes the sentences, she checks them against a textbook or online resource and corrects any mistakes.
So she's getting immediate feedback. That's smart.
Exactly. That way, she's reinforcing the correct information in her brain.
So smart. That's really using the brain, not just studying endlessly.
Exactly. And that's why she's able to learn languages so efficiently. She's working with her brain instead of against it.
So, to recap, Anna doesn't rely on motivation. She creates habits and systems.
And she uses spaced repetition and active recall to make her learning more effective.
Right, so anyone can do what she does, even beginners.
Absolutely. It just takes a little bit of planning and consistency. You don't have to be a genius to learn a new language. You just have to use the right strategies.
Okay, so what's the biggest takeaway from Anna's interview?
I think it's that using real tools daily beats waiting for the perfect mood or perfect schedule.
Yeah, that's a great point. So many people get caught up in trying to find the perfect time to study or the perfect method that they never actually start.
Exactly. Anna's approach is all about taking small, consistent steps every day.
Okay, so if our listeners want to start learning a new language or improve their English, what's the first thing they should do?
I would say download a spaced repetition app like Anki and start practicing active recall by writing simple sentences every day.
And remember, don't wait for motivation to strike. Just build a system and stick to it.
Exactly. And with that, let's move on to our final tips and motivation for today's episode. Okay, so if you take one thing from today's episode, let it be this. You can learn anything faster, including English, if you work with your brain, not against it.
Yeah, exactly. Learning isn't about some innate talent or being good at languages. It's about understanding how your brain works best and using techniques that support that.
I couldn't agree more, Leo. It's like, why struggle against the current when you can learn to ride the wave, right?
Exactly. So use spaced repetition to review smarter. No more just randomly repeating things over and over and hoping it sticks. Review at the right intervals and you'll see a huge difference.
And use active recall to test yourself. Don't just passively read through notes. Actually challenge yourself to remember the information. That mental effort is what makes the memory stronger.
And the best part is you don't need to dedicate hours every day. Make it daily, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Those small, consistent efforts add up over time. It's like compound interest for your brain.
And remember Anna's tip from the interview. Don't wait to feel ready. Just start small. A sentence, a word, a 5-minute quiz.
Absolutely. Don't get caught up in perfectionism or feeling like you need to have everything figured out before you begin. Just take that first step, no matter how small it may seem.
Your brain wants to help you, truly. You just have to give it the right tools and a little bit of consistent effort, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve.
So let's recap the key takeaways one more time. Use spaced repetition to review efficiently, use active recall to build stronger memory pathways, and most importantly, start small and stay consistent.
Those small steps really do add up, don't they? It's like building a house, one brick at a time.
Exactly. And remember, learning isn't a race, it's a journey. Enjoy the process, celebrate your progress, and don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way. That's how we learn and grow.
Well said, Leo. Thanks so much for listening today, everyone. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
We'll be back with more ways to boost your English, your mindset, and your skills in the next episode.
Yeah, we're always looking for new ways to help you improve, so stay tuned.
Stay consistent, stay curious, and we'll see you next time on the English Flow Podcast.
Bye-bye.